Good morning, everyone, and welcome. Today is day 10 of my 31 Days of Tarot reading challenge. And this week we are still working through the 15 card spread with questions I'm pulling from the Ultimate Tarot Practice Question by Elizabeth Smith. I'm using my original Rider-Waite-Smith deck. And I think this morning we'll also pull some or a oracle card from my Wild Unknowns archetype deck. So let me go ahead and get that guy open so that it's ready to go. All right. So I'm going to pull my little spread build up over there out of the way. Let's pick our client's question for today. Deepak says, I'm a lawyer currently working on a tough case involving a kidnapping by a parent. Can you give me any information about the man who abducted the child that would give me an edge in the case? His name is William Smith. Okay. Sorry if you hear my dogs in the background. They're being a little noisy today. So Deepak wants to know something about William Smith. Now, I don't know if I would actually, if I would read the tarot with trying to find a kidnapped child. I think of it as more of a reflective tool and a tool for growth. But let's see if we can find this kidnapped child. I'm guessing that the kidnapper's name is William Smith and not the child's name. So what do we know? We know that the man is someone who would abduct a child. Do we know why? What's his motive? Oop. We can go with that. The self. All right. Such a pretty card for such a dark question. 6IX. There's so many cards in this deck. So the self. The self, the soul, the witness, the watcher. The self is the prism that allows the spectrum of our personalities to radiate. It does not judge, prohibit, suppress, or oppress in any of its parts, as it lovingly knows that all aspects have a time and a place and leads us to experience the full breadth of life's offerings. The self is the central abiding container, the awareness of the infinite universe of possibilities. When this card appears, it is a call to step back in to witness consciousness, to observe yourself navigating the world. Ask yourself, am I the stew or am I the chef? In most situations, our ego draws us into the cauldron where we swirl, spin, and smolder in chaos. Yet the self is a graceful culinary dancer, watching, waiting, observing, as the spectrum of ingredients become the flavor of our life. Look in the mirror for 30 seconds or more. Attempt to see the you behind the you. So, when light, this is witnessing, accepting new aspects of self. When it's dark, it's disjointed, fatigue, diffused energy and purpose. I think So it's interesting. Maybe there's some aspects of the ego in the fact that William has taken this child. Maybe also he's, if he's taken this child and he's on the run, maybe he's, feeling a little bit disjointed and fatigued and possibly feeling like he's made the wrong decision. The self could also be Deepak in the situation, and that he's the watcher, he's the witness, he's the one who is looking for William, and he is trying to find him. I feel like this could also be an indication that we should not be reading for someone else. We should be reading for Deepak, but we'll see how it goes. All right, so let's lay out our spread and see what we can divine from the tarot. So in our current situation, we have the King of Swords. We have the Queen of Pentacles. Oh, and we have the Three of Swords. Interesting. We have the Seven of Pentacles, the Emperor, the Eight of Wands, and the Ace of Cups. Can you see these? Justice, Ace of Pentacles, King of Pentacles, Nine of Wands, the World, Knight of Cups, the Hierophant, and the Five of Pentacles. So I will say right off the bat, in this current situation, we have the King and the Queen, which feel is, two people in the situation. This could be William Smith and the mother in the situation. Maybe William is the father of the child that has taken, and there's possibly some heartbreak or some feeling of betrayal or untrust not going on in this situation. Just looking at the overall energy of the spread, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pentacles, swords, just the 2, maybe if you want to count justice, 3, cups, we have 2, wands, we have 2, and then we have 4 major arcana cards. So there's a lot of pentacles in the situation, which, makes it feel very grounded and very of the earth and very material. So maybe there's something going on about the money. Maybe, if you look at the queen and she's very much focused on the pentacle and she's very loving and she's a homemaker, and the king of swords is very analytical and of the mind and straightforward and cuts to the quick. So maybe there's money issues involved here. Maybe he was paying her child support payments and he no longer wants to do that and is feeling like he needs to take the child and the child is his. Looking at the most probable outcome based on our current trajectory, we have the Seven of Pentacles, we have Justice, we have the World. And this feels like, he's going to get what's coming to him, in that, we're going to get the kid back home safe and sound. The sevens make you want to pause and contemplate and take a moment to reflect. These sevens, typically it's a farmer, looking over his crop and seeing what's growing. But if you look, there's a dead leaf down here and some worms. So there's something going on. There's something wrong in the situation. And maybe this is reflecting kind of what we saw in the self or the ego about feeling disjointed and tired. I think at some point William is going to, stop and realize that this is not the way to be doing things, and maybe he is going to turn himself in and bring the kid back, and that the kid is going to be home and safe and happy and healthy, and all will be right with the world. That's what this feels like over here. Looking at the alternative outcome, if adjustments are made, we have the Emperor, the Ace of Pentacles, and the Knight of Cups. So this, the Emperor is very strong and stable, and he's the King of Kings, and he'll make decisions very well. And so maybe the Emperor is someone, a father figure or someone strong in William's life who will make him see reason. Maybe there's an offering that can be made, or a plea to William's better nature and more emotional side. Maybe this was an emotional reaction, and the Emperor can help him see more clearly, and that William's choices that he has made is not the right path. Over down here in the bottom left, we have advice or actions to be taken for the best outcome. And so, and we have the Hierophant and the King of Pentacles and the Eight of Wands. which, is actions to be, feels, very active, that Deepak needs to take action. He is, I'm guessing, oh, he's a lawyer. So that kind of plays into the Hierophant. There's a lot of learning that goes into that. So he needs to, fall back on the routine and the process, and follow up on his leads. The King of Pentacles is someone that has to do with money. So maybe needs to go, maybe William has an accountant, or someone who he confides in. Maybe if you follow the money and see if there's any credit cards or payments or anything there. But action needs to be taken, whether that's having someone close to William try to reach out to him, or some other motive. Down here are things that are outside of our control, external things. And to me, this feels like external to Deepak. This might be William's energy down here a little bit. We have the Ace of Cups, which, my eyes are being drawn to the water that's overflowing from the cup. So he's maybe feeling overwhelmed emotionally. We have the Nine of Wands, which is someone who's, traveled a long way, who's done a lot of hard work, or feels they have, and feels burnt out and tired and beat up. And we have the Five of Pentacles, with the two people out in the cold, feeling destitute and in despair. And so I feel like these might be what William is experiencing. So if we're able to reframe that for William a little bit, maybe this will all be resolved in the child coming back and being unharmed. And yes, there will be consequences for William, but at the end of the day, it's about the safety of the child, and the child being in a happy and healthy situation. So I think that's the message that I'm receiving from the cards today. Let me know your thoughts, or if you read the cards in any other way, or if you see something differently. It's been a really fun one, kind of stretching myself a little bit. Thank you all for joining me today, and I will see you again tomorrow.